Tell on the track. Hop in the whip and I hit these switches. See that chrome suspension. Look at the car, you know who did it. I don't have to mention. They know it's Alex from Hoppos. Custom work come from Hoppos. I'm Rob Taylor 504. For anybody that gotta know, Alex stay with fresh content and he keep it coming like a slideshow. Never cut corners far as I know, but he cut metal with his eyes closed. Control arms, reinforced frames, still killing the game. You see the gun smoke from impalas with the X-frame, doing tricks like it came from the X game. Everybody gotta tune in for the next.
So you guys know 72% of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. What? So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, I'll pause, I'll wait. Where are you going? You're walking to get your lunch? Subscribers, likes, and comments is what helps grow the page. When a page grows, it also helps me keep pushing more content. For the final steps of Javier 62, we're going to be working on getting some fittings situated. We also got to tack the last of the body mounts, which are already somewhere here. I don't know where things are at right now because I just came back from lunch, which is pretty rare. I don't normally leave for lunch, but oh, they're over here. Let me show you guys. Here is the other body mounts. You guys see here. Nice, thick, heavy duty. Also, you can see it has a layer that matches pretty much everything else on this frame, including the A-arms, the front A-arms, the front uppers, lowers, the rear wishbone, the rear trailing arms, the whole frame itself, plus the setup, and obviously all the body mounts have it too. So everything is matching and everything flows. That's the best part about this car. For those of you who are still new to this channel and haven't seen what we're working on, here's Javier's 1962. Beautiful. And here is his 4-pump gravity fed setup that we're working on. Right now we're in the mock-up stages, pretty much mocking up everything that you see here. And then we're gonna be actually working on getting the fittings situated as well, because that's gonna be the next step here. We're gonna get the fittings laid out, figure out how we want this to look, the design, the flow, the way we want the focal point to be as soon as you walk up. What I mean by focal point, I mean when you walk up to the car, there's something that always attracts you to one of these cars. Most of the time, what's going to grab your attention is going to be the loud paint, the flashy patterns, the pinstriping, and the ghost fades. Or it's going to be because you're looking at the engine or the transmission from the bottom side, or you're looking at the hydraulic setup, which obviously that's what we're hoping you look at. Main focus in our job is to create something in here that's just a masterpiece, to the point where everything flows and everything looks thought out and everything just matches and symmetrical. That's our whole idea behind this. So I'm gonna get some fittings laid out real quick. We're gonna get the dumps, the slowdowns, and we're just gonna kind of start mocking some ideas together. Honestly, I wanted to film you guys the whole process of like selecting the fittings and choosing the fittings and why I was doing the fittings I was doing, but I didn't want to make it more complicated than it really was. So what I did here is I actually just went ahead and did it already. Now I'll show you guys and explain a little bit. So we got all the fittings laid out here, mocked up. We're still gonna send a few other versions of this. Everything's gonna stay the same on the dump, but the only thing we're gonna change up is add possibly a straight here, 90s on the back side, just in case to give myself a few little options when I'm doing tubing. If I don't like the way it's flowing, then I could change them. But the way we're looking here is we designed up a manifold to pretty much house the dump, the check valve, and the pressure out and return all in one. So we're using this as a big union tee. And on these it's a little tricky because I don't know if you guys can notice here. I'm gonna step back a little bit here. The gear's always set offset on these ones because the way the gear, the shaft comes in. So anytime you're looking at these, it's always tricky. You always gotta play that game to where you gotta make it visually look good, but it's technically crooked. So you can see the difference of the block from here to here and here to here. Now you might say, well, just make the block bigger. Well, you can, but if you make the block bigger, then the motor looks like it's off. So you're always gonna have that weird variation. But what we do normally is we make a fitting that goes here that actually offsets the tank back to the center. Same thing, here. And we're gonna probably use those as well. Right now, just for mocking up purposes, we're just doing straight direct fit without changing much. But right here, you can notice that we're having to run an actual extra barrel here. But if you look at the gapping between the block here and the gapping between the, well, this one ain't too straight here. Let me get this straight. and the gapping between the block there, it's pretty close, and pretty much you'll get it dead on as long as you play with the tightening of the fitting. Kind of pan out for you guys here. You guys can check everything out. Alright, so we've got the fittings all situated. Did a little, I don't say trial and error, but we tried a few different versions on here. Originally I thought I was all good, but then I changed my mind. I want to do something else, and then I had everybody look at it, and obviously all the guys put in their input on it. So we came up with something that's very, very similar. All we did is change up a few fittings. As you can see here, we actually added in the check valves. On the check valves, I was waiting for a special fitting because we didn't have these in stock here. So these actually just showed up. Got these all dialed in and looking exactly how I wanted to. Now there's just a few things that I might change up, where I have these set up as 90s here to run across and back, but I have these set up as straights, that way I could kind of stagger the tubing. So I'm not sure if I'm going to change that or leave it, or maybe put the straights here and the 90s there. Not sure yet, but either way, I have enough fittings to do either which way I want to do. And anytime we're doing a tubing job like this, I like setting out a few extra fittings just in case we change up the configuration. A lot of times when you're tubing things, or when you're visually looking at it right now and you're pre-planning your tubing, it looks good. But sometimes you can't get that look that you want. So in order to do that, you gotta change a fitting. And if these are gonna get all diamond cut and chromed, then in that case, we really don't have the option to change a fitting. So that's the reason why we're gonna be sending out a few extras just in case we need to swap them out, and which normally it works out as planned, but just in case, we'll have a few extra options here, some straights, some 90s. Just in case I don't like it, we're gonna cap them off. You know, there's different options here. These are actually the fittings I was talking about earlier. The offset fitting, if you can see the fitting MPT, the 3/8 MPT is actually sitting offset. So that fixes the difference of the tank. Here, this isn't something that we sell. This is a special made item that we make here. And we do this, you can see the flow. And we do this for our setup specifically that we're building, just to give it that one little extra touch of custom. It's pretty much almost getting wrapped up here. I know a lot of you guys have had questions about this one back there. I've been reading the comments. Don't worry, that time is coming for it. I've actually been filming other videos, not just this video. So I have content on this one already. So I'll be showing you guys that once we get to it, but we're not quite there yet. Almost, but not yet. The plan for right now is we gotta get these batteries situated, which we already obviously got the layout, but we need to do the battery hold down. And the battery hold down is gonna be kind of tricky just because the way the Optimas are set up. You got a stud here, you got the little circle cap here, so you only have really about 1.5 inches worth of clearance. Then I got 2 studs on that side and a single stud on this side. It makes it a little bit tricky to when I'm trying to make a custom battery hold down. So I don't want to go crazy on it. I'm just going to very simple on this one, because obviously no sense of spending money on it because you're not going to see it. It's going to be tucked away. The only purpose it's going to serve is to purely hold the batteries in place. So with that being said, let me head over to the plasma can, to the computer. Let me start programming up something. I'm going to have to get some measurements here real quick, and then from there I'll go program. So after a few minutes here, I think we kind of got what we're looking for here. Let me zoom in on this. We're doing all the finished programming on it. I just lined up all the tool cuts here. So we had to kind of offset the studs just because the placement of them, which I should have thought of originally, but it's okay, it still works out because we cut on the computer. We had to offset the actual straight sections here just about 3/4 inch just to gain clearance. So this is test run number 1. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that guy right now, and then we'll get the first test piece up. Oh, she's a little warm, a little warm. All right, yeah, I can do it, Let's go test fit. Okay, test fit number 1 didn't go as good as I wanted to go, which I kind of take that back. It did line up on the back studs like I wanted to, but I screwed up on measurements, and well, I didn't take in consideration that I actually offset the battery rack here. I didn't do a center, so we're gonna actually have to scoot this hole over about 2¼ inches that way, because everything else looks like it's gonna clear. You can see there, it looks like it's gonna clear. This is exactly where I want them to be, right in the center. So let me redo that real quick, and then we'll start over. All right, cut number 2 going in effect here. We made the adjustments we need to make. Let's see if this one does any better. We're gonna cross our fingers. Cross our fingers. All right, test fit number 2 went good. So those measurements are good, dialed in. I just checked it on both sides right now. It clears all the little notch outs of the circles. Everything clears really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut up a second one and then we'll get these guys cleaned up.
Gonna move or what?
What do you think about the 62? We're done.
Not yet.
Well, we're done for right now.
For right now, it's alright.
It's all right, yeah, okay. What do you think about the 62?
Nice.
Wow, very descriptive, very, very descriptive. So guys, we are officially done with our part right now. I say right now because pretty much it is mocked together. All the fittings are mocked, the stands are built, battery racks are built, body mounts are on, body mount layers are on. Everything has been designed and thought out. Everything is finished as of right now. The next step from here is going back to Mario at CNC Anaheim, and they're gonna do all their finishing touches on it. Our moving cart of fittings right now, which are part of this kit right here, or this setup. All this has been gone through. We just did all count on fittings. We just did everything. Everything is 100% done on this one. We are actually moving it because now that we are done, we're actually moving this out of the way. We were waiting for the saw to finish cutting because we have to start adjusting because within about a month and a half or so, we should be seeing our new machine, and we need this space over here, this whole space for the machine. We're pretty much waiting for this car to get finished up in order for us to clear the space to get everything moved over. But the bad part is they're not picking up the car till next week, so by the time you guys see this video, this car will actually probably be gone. But as of right now, we gotta clear this whole section out to get this car, well, moved out of the way, to get this machine screwed over, get everything measured out to make sure we have enough space for the new machine, because it's gonna start getting tighter than it already is in here. So we're able to scoot the saw over. We also gave it a much needed bath because this thing has been cutting nonstop, and this thing was filthy, filthy, filthy. So we gave it a good bath, we gave it a good pressure wash. We fired it back up, everything's good. Matter of fact, to get that going, we moved it. Everything's functioning, we're good here. Good to go. We also created so much more space over here. And again, this whole space right here is dedicated to the laser that's gonna be on its way, and also the press brake, the CNC press brake that we ordered. So that is why we're getting all this cleared up. Our biggest project was to get this guy done right now. Once that one was all done, then we decided, you know what? Today's the day, let's just move it. That way we're ahead of schedule, which this year has been pretty rough to do. Doing the final cleanup here. We just gotta get, put the last of the little things in place, and we're pretty much gonna be set. Obviously there's always organizing you could do at any shop, but we're looking good. Just like that, we're back to work. Got a whole bunch of back circle we gotta cut up. So actually I gotta cut this whole plate, and then I got a little rim here, so I'm gonna cut the rest of this too to get rid of these 2 sheets. But as you can see here, we got some shipping going out over here. This just created so much more space. I'm very, very happy. We roll the 62 back over here, that way later on tonight, we come in and do a full sweep and clean up this whole section over here. This area's kind of been getting neglected recently. It's just been pass-throughs, after pass-throughs. So gonna definitely clean all that up. This guy should be getting picked up within the next few days. Then from there, we get to jump on this guy. Hardest working guy we have. You know what? You're probably the best employee named Vic. You're the employee of the month of the Victors.
Man, you always fucking hold the camera. Nobody sees that part.
Always hold that against me. That one time, somebody in the comments that had like some bucket car said, Alex doesn't even do work. He's just a cameraman. Well,
You were right.
I am. I'm holding the camera. Right? And that guy was watching my videos. That was very hurtful. I'm gonna go cry. He's gonna do the cleaning. We cleaned everything out up on top. He's gonna go through and we're actually gonna drain all the water out, clean everything up, make sure that the coolant is up to the correct pH level. That way we don't have any corrosion and stuff like that. Whoa.
at work or just stand there?
This guy, I can never catch a break from him. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. He's a troublemaker. Mike's getting a whole bunch of the back cups over there getting welded up. Take you guys over to the machine shop, show you guys what's going on over here. Gustavo writing a program. Caps. Got a few of those, that's what's left of them. The rest are already on the shelves. That machine's cutting away. And well, working on something new over here. HD ball joints. Actually, oh, he took all the good ones already. Good ones. These are going to be our new HD ball joint. These are going to be fully machined out of one solid piece. So there's no more welding involved. Thicker flange on it for just a stronger mounting. Still using the Teflon lined uniball, that way you don't have to grease them. Follow me on IG, you guys just saw I already posted that yesterday. So those are available, the 4 holes are available on the website already. Coming up next is going to be the 3 holes, and then we'll see what's next after that.
Hop in the whip and I hit these switches, see that chrome suspension. Look at the car, you know who did it, I don't have to mention. They know it's Alex from Hoppos, 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 Hoppos. Custom work come from Hoppos, Hoppos, Hoppos. I'm Rob Taylor, 504. For anybody that gotta know, Alex stay with fresh content and he keep it coming like a slideshow. Never cut corners far as I know, but he cut metal with his eyes closed. Control arms, reinforced frames, still killing the game. You see the gun smoke from Impalas with the X-frame, doing tricks like it came from the X game. Everybody gotta tune in for the next.